Good day. I am Johanna Jones, President and CEO of ITSMF, and I regret that I could not join you today, but I am with you in spirit. I am absolutely overjoyed about the launch of our first ever Ignite cohort. So while we're launching our first official GIPD Ignite Academy cohort this year, ITSMF's commitment to entrepreneurs date back probably over 10 years, when one of our longtime executive member, Daryl S. Freeman, challenged ITSMF to commit to being more intentional about scaling Black tech businesses founded by Black entrepreneurs. And he put his money where his mouth is and gave us our first contribution to launch our Ignite forums. And so we've been hosting Ignite forums within our academies ever since then. But in 2020, the ITSMF Board of Directors challenged us to create an ecosystem to grow and scale $2 to $5 million Black tech businesses. And today I am most proud that we are taking a giant leap toward doing just that. This initiative is so important for a multitude of reasons. We have the ability, we've seen it amongst our members. We've seen $2 to $5 million Black tech businesses be able to scale to 30, 50, $80 million Black tech businesses. We have over 50 Fortune 500 corporate partners within our network. Fortune 500s, Fortune 250s, Fortune 50 companies. We want to help our Ignite Academy founders access the supply chain opportunities, access business accelerator opportunities, access corporate partnership opportunities. We want to develop Black founders' mind, body, and soul. We want to increase Black wealth. We want to help support founders in developing connections and relationships, just like the rest of our ITSMF founders. So this is a proud day in our history. I regret that I can't join you this afternoon, but I look forward to seeing you in person at our forums that we'll have later this year. So congratulations. I hope after today you officially commit to joining the ITSMF family, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Congratulations on your success and this important phase in the growth of your business. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Denise Smith, and I am the Ignite Academy Director. Thank you for joining me today as we kick off Ignite Academy. First, I want to start with the mission of ITSMF. The ITSMF mission is to increase the representation of Black professionals at senior levels in technology in order to impact organizational innovation and growth. This is incredibly important as the tech industry has historically lacked diversity, particularly in leadership at the leadership level. By developing and nurturing Black leaders in technology, ITSMF is helping to create a more diverse and inclusive tech industry, which is not only the right thing to do, but also benefits organizations and society as a whole. But its ITSMF's mission isn't just about career advancement. It's also about developing the whole person. And that's why we talk about enriching the mind, body, and soul. By nurturing Black leaders in all aspects of their lives, ITSMF is helping to create not just better professionals, but also better human beings. Now let's move on to ITSMF's vision. The ITSMF vision is a world with barrier-free opportunities for Black technology leaders, innovators, and influencers. This is a powerful vision and one that we should all strive towards. We want to create a world where anyone, regardless of their background or identity, can achieve success in the tech industry. This is not only the right thing to do, but also makes good business sense. Diverse teams are more innovative and better able to solve complex problems, which is essential in today's fast-paced and constantly evolving tech industry. And finally, let's talk about ITSMF's values. ITSMF believes that information technology and technology platforms connect people and ideas. This is certainly true. As technology has the power to break down barriers and connect people from all over the world, ITSMF also believes that nurtured leaders can transform future leaders and that diversity of leadership invites new perspectives needed for innovation. These are all incredibly important values and ones that we should strive to embody. ITSMF is doing incredibly important work to increase representation for Black professionals at senior levels in technology. By developing and nurturing Black leaders, ITSMF is helping to create a more diverse and inclusive tech industry, which benefits not only organizations, but society as a whole. Let's work towards ITSMF's vision of a world with barrier-free opportunities for Black technology leaders, innovators, and influencers, and embody their values of connection, transformation, and diversity. As I mentioned before, my name is Denise Smith, and I am the Ignite Academy Director. I am a visionary leader who strongly believes that those who dare to dream big and think outside the box can make a difference in the world. My passion for positively impacting businesses and communities has driven me to become a C-suite executive, specializing in product and technology operations strategy, mergers and acquisitions, and turnarounds. At Ignite Academy, we are committed to building generational wealth for Black-owned technology businesses, as you earlier heard from Johanna. Our program is focused on providing exposure, resources, and support to help founders and CEOs grow and scale their businesses. We have a set of key performance indicators that we will use to measure the success of our program, including the number of Black-owned technology businesses who complete the program, the number of corporate partnerships established by participants, the revenue generated by participants, the number of jobs created by participants, and the success of our $10,000 non-dilutive capital contest and participant feedback. To ensure that we're working with the right companies, we have specific application requirements to be eligible for our program. You must identify as a Black founder, CEO in tech, and your company must be one of the following types: a scalable tech startup, a tech-enabled small business, tech workforce program, or a nonprofit. Additionally, your business must have generated at least 2.5 million in revenue in 2020 and every subsequent year. This requirement ensures that the company is on a growth trajectory. Participating in the Ignite Academy offers Black-owned technology businesses a chance to access comprehensive support and resources to connect with our corporate partners who have supplier diversity initiatives. This unique opportunity can help establish partnerships with Fortune 500 companies and beyond, ultimately increasing your business's visibility and revenue potential. Our corporate partners are committed to promoting diversity and inclusion in their supply chains and are actively looking for qualified Black-owned businesses to collaborate with. By joining the Ignite Academy, you could be one step closer to securing a supplier partnership with a leading corporation. So take advantage of this invaluable opportunity to take your business to the next level. We could not do this without our incredible team. And so I would like to take a moment just to introduce each one of them. We've got Johanna Jones that you heard from earlier, our president and CEO. We have Michael T. Whitley, the VP of Development and Advancement. We also have Robert D. Scott, the VP and Dean of our Global Institute for Professional Development. Cedric Cobb, our Director of Development and Engagement. and then myself. Comprising entrepreneur experts from various industries, the advisory committee offers valuable guidance and insights to ensure the program aligns with its mission and achieves its goals. And we have a slew of folks that are here with us. We've got Damani Short, CEO of Lexico Consulting, Dane Banbury, Senior Director of Enterprise Architecture at Cox Enterprises, Hugh Campbell, President at AC4S Technologies, Cedric Cobb, CEO of Best Wardrobe Solutions, Lena Hickman-Miot, CIO and COO of Miotech LLC, Luana Lawhorn, Director and Operations of Technology Transformation Office of at Citi, Valerie Mackey, the CEO of Right Now Solutions, Cedric Nash, the founder of the Black Wealth Summit and CEO of Oakland Consulting, Ibrahim Jackson, founder and CEO of Ubiquitous Preferred Services, Stephen Pascal, owner and IT Solutions International LLC, Alana Robinson, founder and president and CEO of Robinson Group Consulting Incorporated, and Robert D. Scott, VP and Dean of Global Institute for Professional Development. ITS Ignite Academy is a business accelerator program that supports Black tech founders with annual revenues greater than $2 million. It is similar to other accelerators like McKinsey & Company, Black Economic Institute, Accenture's Black Founders Development Program, Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses, JP Morgan Chase Advancing Black Pathways, and Morgan Stanley Multicultural Innovation Lab, which provide access to mentorship, funding, and resources to accelerate growth. However, unlike these programs, the ITS Ignite Academy is specifically designed to support Black tech founders, whereas the other accelerators have a broader focus on diverse and Black entrepreneurs. Additionally, the Google for Startups Black Founders Fund, Harlem Capital, Techstars Foundation, Comcast NBC Universal Lift Labs Accelerator, and Founder Gym are also similar to the ITS Ignite Academy in that they support diverse or Black tech founders with annual revenues greater than $3 million. But they have a higher revenue threshold. Overall, the ITS Academy fills a specific niche in the market by providing targeted support to Black tech founders with annual revenues greater than $2 million. The key difference between the offerings of the accelerators mentioned and Ignite Academy is that Ignite Academy specifically focuses on supporting Black-owned technology businesses and connecting them with corporate partners who have supplier diversity initiatives. The goal of Ignite Academy is to help Black-owned businesses establish partnerships with Fortune 500 companies and beyond, ultimately increasing their visibility and revenue potential. In addition to mentorship and coaching, Ignite Academy offers access to corporate partners who are actively looking for qualified Black-owned businesses to collaborate with. This provides a unique opportunity for Black-owned technology businesses to secure supplier partnerships with leading corporations, which can significantly impact their growth and success. Another significant offering from Ignite Academy is the chance to win $10,000 in non-dilutive capital, which can be a significant boost for an early-stage startup. This is a contest open to all applicants who complete the program and pay the $500 administration fee, ensuring that all participants have some skin in the game. Some of the supplier diversity programs and initiatives that aim to promote the use of diverse suppliers, including businesses owned by minorities, women, veterans, and other underrepresented groups, are listed here. The programs typically involve setting goals for spending with diverse suppliers, tracking spending, and reporting on progress. Companies may also provide training and resources to help diverse suppliers become more competitive and improve their business operations. The spending amounts for the supplier diversity initiatives can vary widely, and depending on their company, their specific goals and priorities can be different. Some companies may set aside a specific budget for supplier diversity initiatives, while others may allocate funds as part of the overall procurement budget. We're committed to ensuring that all participants fully engage with a benefit from the program. To that end, we're introducing a small, non-refundable administration fee of $500 for all applicants. $250 of this fee will go towards the $10,000 non-dilutive capital prize for the lucky participant who completes the program. But that's not all. The contest is open to applicants who pay the administration fee and fully commit to the program by completing 95% of the cohort sessions. The Academy winner will be judged by their peers in the following categories: customer growth, innovation, and leadership. We believe that this is an exciting opportunity for anyone looking to take their business to the next level, and we can't wait to see the incredible results that come out of this program. So don't wait, apply today, and take that first step towards transforming your business. As I mentioned in the beginning, one of my favorite quotes is that people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. It embodies my approach to life and work, and I believe that with the right mindset, anything is possible. So with that, I am excited to be a part of a program that's making a difference in the lives of Black-owned technology businesses and helping to create generational wealth. Now let's jump into this fireside chat. I'm going to bring to the stage Damani.
Hi, Denise. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Give me a moment as I just switch gears here. All right. So I would like to introduce you to a remarkable game changer in the business and technology world, Damani Short. He is a seasoned and highly sought-after leader who has held a variety of CISO, and management roles for multi-billion-dollar companies with an annual revenue as large as $45 billion. He is a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt practitioner, which has allowed him to drive transformations on a global stage with companies such as GE, Sharpie, Newell Brands, United States Olympic Committee, Johnson Controls, and Shutterfly. In 2016, Damani recognized a gap in transformation planning, orchestration and execution, which led him to exit from large corporations to launch his own company, Lexico. This management consulting firm is focused on transformation, taking a holistic, human-centered approach to work with Fortune 1000 leaders. Lexico specializes in transformation scenarios, including customer experience, digital, organizational, and instructional change, mergers and acquisition, and divestiture planning, and program-level initiatives. Aside from leading Lexico and pouring accelerant on its growth, Damani has also helps others in their entrepreneurial endeavors. In fact, he serves as the head of the ITSMF Ignite Advisory Committee and sits on the board of the North Central Minority Supplier Development Council, representing MBEs throughout the region. It is truly inspiring to see someone with such a wealth of experience and knowledge in the business and technology world use their expertise to help others grow and succeed. Damani is a visionary leader who is making a difference in the world, and we are honored to have him with us today. So Damani, we're going to jump right on in here. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. So can you share a bit of your background and how you ventured into entrepreneurship?
Happy to. So let me start by saying that I knew that one of the key requirements of this fireside to be, successful is to keep it kind of loose, have fun, be authentic. So with that in mind, it's by definition going to be very personal. So as I share parts of my story, they're just my story. So they don't necessarily translate to others. Obviously had a very blessed run in kind of the corporate space, and wouldn't be able to do what I do today without those experiences. And of course, they're now our clients and many others on our team's clients, and play a critical role. So I just want to start with that. Thanks for sharing a little bit about my background. So I would just kind of fast forward a little bit. So as I got into, let's say, the last quarter of kind of my corporate run, there were some things bubbling up inside of me that just kind of kept floating through my mind. One was this notion of making a lasting business impact. It's broader than business, but I'll start there. So being in these Fortune 500s and Fortune 1000s, many who've experienced that know that case for change can be fleeting. 2 bad quarters, tough analyst call, new board members, a new CEO, a new CFO, competitive threats, any of those things can kind of rock or shake or frankly pause a case for change. And as someone who's focused on transformation, and as I was fortunate to get into the C-suite and serve, in multiple CIO roles and some of the others you talked about, that case for change, when it's fleeting, it can leave you kind of in a little bit of a empty space. So what's next? And I found that as I stayed at those levels and supported different organizations, that was kind of a recurring theme. So we weren't always able to get kind of our good work done. And so it just occurred to me, hey, we could potentially impact a lot more leaders, a lot more businesses by delivering these capabilities in a consulting model. And that really was one of the 3 things that was bubbling for me. The second was, again, as exciting and fortunate as I was to have had some of those positions, the time leverage just was very evasive. Could have been me. Maybe there's other C-levels that have found a way to get time back while serving Fortune 500s and 1000s. But what I was finding is I had not mastered that skill. And I didn't see it on the horizon for me. So this notion of starting, my own enterprise, structured properly over time could potentially get time leverage, get time back, and, frankly, lifestyle and ability to make impact in other places. So, but I think it's important for entrepreneurs, whether just getting started or in kind of early stage, we all know that time and having time flexibility isn't always something that is a luxury. In fact, it can be even more intense. But as we develop our businesses, and if we're able to do that and design them in ways that intentionally get us, time leverage, people leverage, can pay dividends down the road. The third thing that was really important was this making a multi-generational impact. And, I was thinking about those I care most about, and the fact that I had very little time and quality interaction with them. So even when I was physically there, I was not mentally present, which was frustrating. And I just didn't feel like I was doing kind of my best work, being my best self for those that needed me. As well, I was thinking about causes and communities in which I'm passionate about, and just saw potentially a much broader sea of opportunity to drive that lasting impact in a model where I'm running my own business. So those were 3 things that were really bubbling and percolating over the last, say, 5 years of my corporate career that really led me to, along with time and circumstance, to be able to say, hey, we're going to plant a stake in the ground and start this business.
Wow. That's really impressive, Damani, and, can relate to a lot of it. A lot resonates. So as one of the founding members of Ignite Academy, can you share some insights into the vision and mission of the program and how it aligns with your personal values and goals as a business leader?
Sure. As I think about business ownership, just on a macro scale, not just here in the US, but globally, and not just now, but even back in time, possibly hundreds of years. Business ownership has always been a cornerstone in all cultures to driving healthy communities. Everything from health outcomes to economic impact, opportunities for education, wealth creation, ability to do philanthropic things, it's always been a cornerstone. Business ownership, is especially important in Black communities, recognizing, an improved ability to control our outcomes, dictate the pace of play, and ultimately, win in that game of life. And third, technology is increasingly at the center of everything. Every business, even in those that maybe historically have lagged in this area, technology is more and more an important force. So this is where we need to be, and this is the focus of Ignite. So that's one thing that's really exciting to me, personally and professionally. The second thing I'd share is this notion of family. For those who've been in and around ITSMF for a long time, it's gone. Initial reaction is it's a little bit family. Come on now. But the reality is there's not an organization I've ever been exposed to that truly has these family characteristics, and a big part of that is support and a vested and aligned interest. And that's by default a big part of what we're bringing now to this Ignite Advisory Committee, as well as to the Ignite program and the Academy more specifically. So that we know is absolutely critical for success and for it to be fulfilling long term. The third thing, personal values wise, and I'll take a little bit of a departure for a moment, but is this notion of mind, body, and soul, and it sounds really Zen and great. But the reality is, like, for me personally, I struggled increasingly. So like let's call it the first half of my career, corporate run, I was a machine, stress management, no problem. Like I could out hustle. I always had global teams around the clock, sleep under the desk for a couple hours, keep going. It was fine.
Yep.
And I don't know exactly what it was, if it was age or who knows what else, but as I got into the third quarter and the fourth quarter of my corporate run, I struggled with effectively managing stress. And I put it that way because that's kind of what it was in the early, middle 2000s. And there wasn't the big banner of mental health. So I couldn't tell you what it was, but it was a big challenge. And as I stepped into entrepreneurship with these dreams of having more time, better quality of life, I actually started to slip right back into my old patterns, just a new entity. And so I had to learn and develop and have an awareness for new skills. And it's really important. If there's anything we take away on this, we can't be what we want to be for others until we're what we need to be for ourselves. I'm going to say that again. We can't be what we want to be for others until we can be what we need to be for ourselves. So that's a long game belief. Of course, tomorrow and the next day, maybe we can be what we want to be for others. But the reality is, over time, that will wane. So that's just a core belief of mine. And the fact that this is baked in not only to the DNA of ITSMF, but this entrepreneurship space is another area of alignment in terms of personal values. So I think specifically in the entrepreneur space and in all the talk tracks, not all of them, but I think increasingly you're hearing a little bit more about balance, but historically that's not really been at the cornerstone. And the reality is, again, for us to take that leap and go build our businesses and to see that impact over time, we've got to be strong in this area.
Yeah, it's great to hear that, Damani. And again, can definitely resonate with a lot that you had to say. So we heard a little bit of what you just talked through of what motivated you to be on the advisory board for Ignite. But how do you hope to contribute to the success of the program? Or how?
Sure. Yeah. So I kind of I think about this in two buckets, and a lot of us are blessed with the opportunity to serve in different organizations. And I think we need to be really intentional about two things. What can I offer? How can I benefit? The reality is, like, these notions of altruism, they may or may not exist, but over time, back to sustainable impact, if something's not feeding us, our impact and ambition and passion will wane. So for me, as it relates to Ignite, I think about Academy participants and cohort members, and I also think about the advisory committee and ITSMF more broadly. And I think, I kind of boil it down simply. There's connections, experiences, and access to capital that I think I can bring, and we as an advisory committee can bring to benefit participants. So I'll keep that kind of simple. I also think for the advisory committee and ITSMF more broadly, there's a leadership and orchestration role that I'm playing. It doesn't mean that I'm the most qualified, but if that adds value to ultimately enable and unlock all the influence and power in this advisory committee, I mean, for all of you saw those names and faces, all the connections to Fortune 500 companies and beyond, all the experiences that this group of us have, that's the high multiple impact. And so if I can help enable that, that's a good thing. I'd say on the benefit side, for me, there's a lot of learning happening with all these, discussions and planning and preparation. And I'm learning from other business owners that are far more along in their journey, some in similar sectors, some in different areas. And so there's substantial learning that's happening for me right now. And I expect to in the future. Also, there's connections that I'm making that'll help as we try and build our business and further our impact in the business community, as well as in community and causes that we're most passionate about. And then the third thing, there's this notion of getting and giving energy, and I get a lot of energy that helps fuel me from interacting with folks like yourself, other advisory committee members, the ITSMF family more broadly. And so that's a part of what feeds me as well.
Wow, I couldn't agree more with a lot of what you stated. And, with that, do you feel that there are some other unique resources and opportunities that Ignite Academy offers Black-owned technology businesses?
Most definitely. The curriculum that is being developed, I think, is very kind of broad and multifaceted. So it's deep dives in just a broad cross section of areas, each of which are critical to become conversant, competent, and ultimately excellent in. So, the academy itself and helping those businesses, I think, is going to be, a big piece. Also, obviously we're targeting businesses that are, 2.5 million and above. So for those that are still in that kind of those earlier stages, there's fundamentally two different skill sets. So there's a skill set to get a series of product or services offerings and get traction to get to a point where you got a few $1 million in revenue. There's a different skill set that is, how do I scale this, possibly service different markets, different sectors. Perhaps part of scale means that I can pump additional product and service offerings into this engine that's kind of being developed. So this notion of scaling these businesses is really important. So Johanna talked about taking them from sub 10 million to 50, 80, and 100. And I think this academy, this Ignite forum and family is a key kind of asset to tap and leverage. The other thing I would say is, Johanna mentioned, and you mentioned as well, I mean, there's this, our focus is Black tech companies that can support and do business with Fortune 500 companies. Well, that's our membership, that's our corporate partners, and whether it's Fortune 500, even going beyond to Fortune 1000, which are still multi-billion-dollar global enterprises by definition. That is a very unique asset.
Absolutely. And
I haven't figured out how to incorporate it on your bubble chart yet, but
we'll get it there. We'll get it there. So then, switching gears just a little bit and just talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. How important do you think diversity, equity, and inclusion, and I'll also add belonging, are in the tech industry? And how do you see Ignite Academy contributing to creating a more diverse and inclusive ecosystem for Black tech founders?
Yeah. First of all, were you talking to Ibrahim earlier this morning?
Not yet, no.
I coined the belonging piece to him.
Okay.
It's exciting to hear that evolution of this concept of DEI. Again, back to learning. So how important is it? I think I'll just share, I've had an opportunity to serve in the NMSDC, the National Minority Supplier Development Council. And we got certified almost day one when we started the business, and we're in the North Central region, and had the opportunity to serve on a variety of committees and more recently on the board of that region. And what I've observed interacting with executives from these Fortune 500 and 1000 companies is there's kind of three camps, I think, in reality. One camp is there's folks that, companies that they pay their check and put it on their website, and it's kind of window dressing. There's not much more behind it, and there's always going to be companies in that camp. And then there's another camp of companies that are trying, and maybe they kind of have fits and starts, and they don't have a lot of traction. They may not have a lot of infrastructure or leadership changes, whatever. They're kind of in the middle, and then there's businesses that are leaned in to the point of no return. I won't name names, but I've had the blessing to work with some of those companies, and it is really amazing to see the impact they're having and how they've embedded this into the way they work, the way they do business, kind of move from a program or an initiative over to that next stage. So with that in mind, there's also a reality that there is a gap between demand and supply. So Fortune 500 struggle to find and engage Black tech companies that can service their business. Now, that can service their business, that's a little ambiguous, but that is the reality. There's a lot of businesses that could service those companies that, based on maybe traditional criteria and ways of engaging in their supply chain, maybe they fall outside that lens, and that's an opportunity. But the long and short of it is, those businesses that are in Camp 2 and Camp 3, they struggle to find Black founder-led tech companies, and they are in dire need of them for a number of reasons. Strengthening their business capabilities, strengthening their supply chain, improving supply chain resiliency, having alternatives, diverse owned alternatives, is very much a challenge for these large enterprises. So, the demand is there. The supply is, you could argue if it is or isn't, but they're definitely not connected. And so I think that creates a lot of opportunity for us.
Well said, Damani. And as an experienced entrepreneur and business leader, I think the folks would like to know, what advice would you have to give to Black tech founders who have already achieved an annual revenue of 2.5 million? And how can Ignite Academy help them overcome their next set of challenges to scale and grow their businesses?
Yeah, so I think we've hit on a few of the items. I don't want to be redundant, but I do just want to. You can't say it enough, right? The skill to develop traction versus the skill to scale are different skill sets, and you need resources, to accelerate the process of developing those skill sets. And I think as business owners, we all make a lot of mistakes, but our room for error, I would argue, is smaller. You don't have the cushions, that large enterprises have. And so if nothing else, this is about accelerating kind of our time to capability. It's about reducing risk, and maybe slips, trips, and falls, because so many of us have already done those things. And, for folks in that kind of 2, 3, 4, 5 million range to figure out how to take their business to the next level, to have access to folks on the ready, and to, the curriculum and everything else that we're offering, I think is invaluable. And back to your point, very unique, back to the kind of the bubble chart.
Absolutely. Well, it was great to hear from you today, Damani, and we're going to move into some Q&A. I think we don't have anything yet in the chat box, but I will wait to see what pops up here.
Great. In the meantime, I think I need to do a little work on my background.
My background is lots. It's a lot going on. Lots of plants, lights. It's always fun. It looks like we don't have any questions, but that means we either did a great job of explaining what the program is and what it has to offer and how it compares to others out there. But if not, if there are any other questions that anyone has or comes up with after this session, please feel free to reach out to myself and also Damani and anyone else that you've seen in the presentation today. We thank you for taking your time out of your day to come and hear about the program, and would love to tell you that you can begin to apply on May 1st. So the application will be ready, live and hot, and ready to apply on May 1st. And the application ends on June 16th. So thank you, Damani, for sharing your story. Thank you for kicking off the Ignite Academy with me. Thank you, everybody who has taken the time to join us today. And we are looking forward to a great year ahead with the Academy. Oh, we do have a question. Hold on. Let's see.
Yes, good one. Okay. I can go ahead and repeat the question. So thank you. This is a good one. What would I do differently as a business owner, in that getting started phase? So now I have to tell a quick story, more reveal. So I was told as I was exploring this idea, of consulting, you need to have at least 1 year's kind of reserve set aside just to account for the ebbs and flows of engagements and projects. I was fortunate in my last stint to have some RSUs, some restricted stock, and I'll spare the details, but suffice it to say it was, a bootstrapped or personally funded approach. And what I would do differently is I would have combined that with some other capital to more aggressively at the onset pursue lines of credit and those sorts of things, various financial instruments, just because our business model was fine early, but as we had like 125% CAGR in the first 5 years, compound annual growth rate, and there's different dynamics that I would say we would have continued. Our growth rate would be even higher if we had more aggressively pursued capital options in the early stages. So that's one thing for sure I would have done differently.
Thank you for sharing that. And we hear it off. It's something I'm working with C-suite. I hear it often. So,
Yeah.
Any other questions in the chat box? Well, I see a bunch of great story. Thanks very much, Savani, for sharing it. And, we can stay on for another 5 minutes if some folks have questions, but if not, we really do thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Denise.
Thank you. I don't see anything else popping up.
Take it to a close.
We'll take it to a close.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Denise.
Thank you.